Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Today on Hindsight Hurts, Rhonda discusses more issues that deal with the feelings of hindsight memories. As we've discussed before, some come in waves of a certain memory or a picture or a certain situation in general. And today we discuss how waking up from dreams about our lost loved ones are so affecting. Whether the dream is a good or a bad one, it brings freshness of their loss up to the surface. And Rhonda, so thank you for sharing with us today.
So, if you're having suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations, I ask you to please call or text 988. Once again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but don't suffer in silence. Don't think you can handle it on your own. Don't wait. Don't be embarrassed. It's so important that you get help and don't make a terrible decision that will change, obviously, your life and everyone's life around you. We just please call or text 988. They're there, they're resources, they're listening ear, they're for advice, they're there to give you whatever you need. And they're available 24/7, 365 days. And that's what they're trained for. And like when I looked it up a couple weeks ago, they go through ongoing training and information and updating and everything to find out what they can do to help and just have the best training and the most obvious not obvious, but up to date information that they can. So, last week I did a little short one, and this one won't be really long because I don't have a lot this week. But I just, last week I was saying that Mike had some health things going on, and when I recorded last week on Tuesday morning, um, I felt like, things were a little better and he was feeling better and when things were looking up. And then he got up that day and there was a new medical thing going on. I'm not going to go into details or anything. Um, so Wednesday it was even worse. And so we were back at the ER and fortunately it was kind of minor, but to him it wasn't minor because he was in a lot of pain. But the um, the cure and what we needed to do to take care of it wasn't a lot. It wasn't difficult. So he's on the mend. That issue is almost completely gone. So, again, I've been very focused on trying to help him and take care of him. And um, so don't have a whole lot. It's not that I don't think about things, but it just seems like, taking care of him or making sure he's okay or doing whatever we need to do to make him healthy. Um, just takes all my focus and everything. So, but during the last 2 weeks, he did have a couple of dreams about Adam. Um, and one of them, it every time tell it or think about it, it just makes me almost cry. Sometimes I cry, sometimes it makes me almost cry. It's actually kind of a good dream, but it still hurts my heart. And anyway, he dreamed that Adam pulled up behind him in a car and got out and walked over and gave him a big, huge hug and said, "Hey, Dad, I'm okay. I love you." And just hearing him say, "I'm okay," just makes me happy, but it also makes me sad at the same time. Because, as a parent, you want to know that your children are okay. And I definitely, want to know that he's okay. And our belief is that he was saved and that he is in heaven. Um, because I know toward the end he acted like he wasn't and talked like he wasn't and, was angry about a lot of stuff and, kind of turned his back on God. But, our belief is once you're saved, you're always saved. And, I know he made the commitment. I know he got baptized. I also know that, he had a ministry for a while and just that's just where our belief is and I just feel like again, I don't believe in dreams and interpreting dreams and things like that in our lifetime. I know in the Bible, I know there are times that God allowed dreams and interpretations and things like that, but I don't think that this was a dream to be interpreted. But it just makes me wonder if maybe God is allowing us to know that he's okay. So anyway, that was a moment. And um, it makes me glad and also it makes me sad. And then the second dream wasn't really a lot. It just, he said they were both working on something. They were both outside working on something. And, um, they were just talking back and forth. So just kind of a normal day for them, normal activity. So, so anyway, there was that. And then one other thing that happened for me was, Mike and I like to watch these old car restoration shows where they take really old cars and that are cars that have been sitting for like 30, 40, 50 years and restore them. And one of the shows, it's a family. There's three kids, a teenager and two younger kids, and they all participate and work and they share silly things and funny things and things that happen during the show and everything like that. And, humorous. And so we're laughing and, just enjoying the show and things like that. It was a nice, relaxing thing. And then a commercial came on and I glanced up at Adam's picture of the TV and immediate sadness hit me that just, like, here we go, he's not here. He's not, he's never coming back. We'll never see him again this side of heaven. And so, the sadness still comes. And, we made it through the year, the first year. Um, and the sadness, of course, is still there. The hurt is still there. Um, so anyway, that's just one thing that happened that I wanted to share. And then yesterday morning, which was Sunday morning, I got up. I'm feeling kind of sad. I don't know why. Every now and then that still hits. I got up. I felt sad, and I just feel like, oh, don't want to do this. I don't want to I want to go to church, but I don't want to go to church, if that makes sense. I don't want to leave the house basically, I don't want to go. And then and I teach Sunday school. So but that always lifts me up. I mean, I enjoy teaching, and when I go, I'm able to teach, and I teach kids, and it's interesting to listen to their questions and their interactions and things like that. So anyway, I got there and I was teaching, and of course, the sadness is gone. I'm feeling good, and and everything, and feeling like I'm really connecting with the kids. At least hoping I am anyway. So they're learning something. Want them to learn so bad about the Bible, about God. But anyway, so that that went well, and then go into church, and one of the songs was "What My Father's Like," and um two of the lines in there, and I think I've said this before, is with arms open wide, he welcomes me home. It's, it feels so good to finally be known. And those just prick my heart because, Adam came back to live here for the few months before he died. And Mike and I were all excited. Oh, he's home, he's home. And our thoughts, he's home, yeah, he's home. And, I don't think that this was ever his home for a long, or wasn't his home for a long, long time. Not ever, but for a long time. I mean, he moved out, he got married, he had kids, and then he moved away, several times. He moved down south, came back, he was here for like, I don't know, a couple years, and then he moved to Louisiana, and then he moved to Iowa. And I think he really had no intention of moving back till, some things happened in Iowa. And, he just felt like he needed to be back around family and things like that. So anyway, so I felt like he was never home, even though in mine and Mike's house he was home. He was back in our house. He was home. Um, but I don't know that he ever felt home. And then, after he died, and and things, I feel like may have felt like he was never fully known, because the things he was thinking and doing and going through and things like that, we didn't know. I don't know that anyone knew. Um, so anyway, those things just came to my mind. And and of course the hindsight hurts, and the what is and the why nots and the whys all come rushing back. And I think that will probably happen for a long time. So like I said, it's not very long today. That's kind of really all I have for this week. Again, I just beg you to call or text 988 if you're having suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations. I beg you. I don't even just ask, I beg you, because being the ones left behind is so painful, it's so hurtful. And I know it's not just, a child. I know if a spouse or a friend or someone you were close to in your family, anybody that that takes their lives. It's a hurt that I think, I mean, obviously losing a family member, the hurt never goes away, but I think it's a different type of hurt that will never go away because again, they made that choice, or you made that choice to take your life, and we just want to help someone who's having those thoughts or considering it, to please know that there is help out there. Please, don't make that final choice or final decision. And if you are not a person that's looking at that, but know someone who's looking at taking their lives or hurting themselves, please give them 988 and tell them to call or text 988 to get the help that they need, the help that's available. And once again, I just want to thank everyone for listening.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and please pray for our family, just as we will pray for everyone. Like I said a minute ago, a loss is a loss, and it doesn't matter how it happens. It is still hurtful. There are always going to be memories that come up as hindsight, and some of them are good memories and some of them are sad, but it doesn't matter. When you've lost someone, everything seems to hurt, even if it puts a smile on your face for just a half a second. And so we appreciate you guys tuning in every Tuesday for our podcast. We're going to come up with some new stuff this year, so be looking forward to it. Hopefully this will bring some peace and a happier year. So please, you guys, tune in on YouTube at hindsighthurts.com and email us at hindsighthurts@mail.com. We are also on Instagram, our Facebook page, and Spotify. Thank you, guys.